Hello, hello, successful souls. Happy Sunday. Not just any Sunday, it is Successful Sunday here in the Spiritual Success Sorority. We are in the last 72 hours of the Mastering Meditation for Success workshop. And I know up to this point, you've heard a ton from me. Let's be honest, I like to talk, right? But I want to make sure that you're not just hearing from me. And today it is jam-packed. I'm super excited that I'm opening you into my world and meeting some of the most amazing ladies that I know, some of my clients. So today I'm going to be having you meet with Katie, right? But before we jump in, I just want to make sure that we are covering some ins and outs, reminding you of what is happening today and for the remaining of the actual workshop, okay? So first things first, we do have a gift card competition that we're doing. Again, congratulations to Tara Lynn, who was our first winner. Now, again, I want you to treat yourself. I want you to have a bottle of champagne on me, get your nails done on me. I want you to take the ladies out for cocktails, go somewhere nice and treat yourself, okay? So if you are wanting to compete in this competition, super easy. All you have to do is post on your personal page. Let your friends know that you've been participating in this workshop and that you recommend it. Be honest, whatever you want to say about it, go for it. You put a picture of like your screen of me talking. You can put a picture of, yourself participating, whatever it is, make sure you tag me in it and make sure you tag also Megan in it. Okay. And then just put the link for them to come and join us. And that's really it. So we will be announcing the winner for that on Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to have a special closed door Zoom session. At that Zoom session, we are going to be able to have virtual face-to-face any and all questions that you have about the Spiritual Success Program, about the workshop. I want to make sure I'm answering and thanking all of you in person. Well, virtually, right? It's the best we can do. So I'm excited to see you all there. Okay, one more reminder is that Tuesday at midnight is when we will be taking everything of the workshop down. Again, I am doing that so I can hold you accountable to make sure that you get it done, okay? So just like Cinderella at midnight, y'all, poof, it's going to disappear, all right? So make sure that you are catching up. If you need help to catch up, if you're not able to find everything easily, reach out to Megan. Megan, Cynthia team is here. I want to make sure that she's here supporting you. DM her. She will tag you. She will show you where the units tab is inside our group. Everything is nicely organized and stored underneath the units tab for you to be able to find not only the live video, the replay of it, but also the homework that goes with it, the answers to the worksheets, everything you need to know, okay? In addition to that, make sure you're still commenting on the replays if you're watching them, okay? Because I'm going back every single one. I'm watching who's doing the work. So just this morning, I went back to homework 1, homework 2, all the way up until homework 5. I have to be honest, there's not that many people on homework 5. So if you are really serious about this, making sure that you remind yourself everything you want is on the other side of mastering your meditation, make sure you do number 5, which is all about seeing it through, okay? So speaking of seeing it through, I want to remind you today, we're going to be talking about some ladies who did say yes to success. They said yes to themselves and they took the ultimate step of seeing it through by joining the 6-month Spiritual Success Program. It is, in all seriousness, I'm going with flow, that I have decided that this will be the last enrollment for the Spiritual Success Program as a 6-month program. So listen to the stories, listen to CEOs, entrepreneur women, and leaders in their community and in their families all throughout the day today, starting right now with me with Katie. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 4 p.m., you're going to be hearing from several different ladies about their stories. And I've particularly selected clients who are newer in the program so you can see what's happened as soon as in the last 2 months, okay? So as you're coming in, make sure you say hi. And without further ado, I'm going to welcome the lovely Katie Warner. Let me have her come on in. Here she is. Hi, Katie.
Hi, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Thank you so much again for doing this with me today. I love the fact that you're going to be sharing your story, being super vulnerable, and putting it out there. So would you mind telling everybody what it is that you do?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm an attorney, but 8 years ago, I started a luxury travel and lifestyle collection. And what my company does is curates trips and experiences for individuals, groups, and companies.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So you're an attorney And you're the CEO of a travel luxury agency. I love that. That's really cool. By the way, make sure you post all your links in here. She was a girl crush of the week, where you can follow her on Instagram. So I want to make sure we're all supporting each other. Again, today's Successful Sunday. So everybody should have a huge list of the wins that they had this week. It's been a very successful week. So make sure you're posting on there. Okay. Now, Katie, what's really fun about you is one of the reasons that I wanted to have you here with me together as we did this interview was the fact that you were the very first person, the last round, to say yes to success. You joined on day 4 during the live. You're like, hell yeah, I'm in. Like, I know this is the answer. So I wanted to pick your brain, and I wanted you to share with everybody, how did you know that I was a mentor you wanted to work with, that Spiritual Success was a program you wanted to enroll in, and what made you, excuse me, say yes to success?
Well, I had definitely put out in the universe that I was looking for a new mentor. And probably about a month before the last time you did a meditation week-long workshop, I was invited into the Facebook group and had the opportunity to talk one-on-one with you. And I was just really impressed with the content. It was not just high level. There were actually like concrete ways to apply things to your life. And I liked how much value I was seeing in the Facebook group. And so I did the meditation workshop, and I just knew that I wanted to be able to be in a situation where I had that accountability for a long period of time in a community of people that could support me as I was making, wanting to make these types of meaningful changes in my life. And so yeah, it was actually kind of scary, but because I definitely was thinking, okay, it's in a pandemic or in a recession. Should I really be like spending money on things that aren't like necessities? But the reality of the situation is I kind of thought if that amount of money seemed like a lot of money, then that was a bigger problem for me than everything else. And so I just felt like I needed to look at it, instead of as spending money, as investing money in myself. And that's really where it just became a no-brainer for me. I mean, really, probably within the hour after that session, I knew that was the right thing that I needed to be doing.
Yeah, that makes me so happy. Yeah, it's funny that you brought up several good points that I want to kind of go over real quick. So first of all, we did have a connection call. So I want everybody here in the group to know that if you are here, I want to get to know you. It's not just about like me being up here talking. I love knowing what is happening in your life, what your goals are, what do you want more content about? So I'm not up here just talking about things I think you want to hear, but I'm talking about what I know you want to hear. So Katie and I, before we even had a workshop, we did connect. We just said hi. It was no pressure. It's not like, are you going to join me? It's just like, let me get to know you and what you're all about. So again, leading up and, after this week, I'm always open to connect with anybody and everybody. If you're ever interested in doing that, you can always reach out to Megan. I am here to be, not just a mentor, but to be a sister, a leader in this community. So I want to get to know everybody. Also, thank you. It is scary. I remember the first time I invested. It was $550, but it was for a whole year. And I wanted to pee myself. I remember I literally pushed the button, signed up, and I was like, what did I do? What did I do? And at the time, I think I made like $40,000 a year. But I always say, I'm so glad that I made that decision, because the things I learned was an investment. It wasn't spending. It's not like you're just getting rid of that money. That money that I put towards myself helped me to learn skills and mindset to become the woman that I am. I've made so much more money. I let my money make money, right? And it's just the mindset and aligning of who you are is where you're going to find so much more. And you're right. It's about being able to be strong enough to label obstacles as opportunities. So kudos for leading by example of saying yes to yourself and saying yes to success. But I remember you were the very first person, day one that we even announced we had the program. You were like, I'm in. So I just think that's really cool. And I think you're going to show a lot of people here today that, yeah, it is scary, but I mean, you're so worth it, right? So what's fun about you is that meditation isn't new to you at all. You've been meditating for over 5 years, I believe you told me, right? So what is different working with me and learning the successful soul system versus, what you've learned from other mentors or perhaps what you've been doing on your own?
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit more structure, and just being able to kind of tighten up the type of meditation I'm doing. And so I feel like the analogy I would use is that, you can learn how to run or learn how to swim. But when you actually go, or even bike, but when you actually learn and start training to do like a triathlon, so many times people get coaches to show you exactly how to be more of an effective runner and swimmer and biker. And that's how I kind of feel like this is that I was getting to a point that I was plateauing, and I really was looking to take my experience to the next level, and having a mentor that could kind of say, okay, you know what, that's great, but this like one piece, why don't you try just like doing this a little bit differently? And I think you might be getting a result. And that for me is really what I was looking for. So yeah, I think it's, I feel like my practice is just getting better, and therefore it's more fulfilling, and I'm manifesting more things because it's just a better quality of the meditation that I'm doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm the same way. And honestly, that's why I put it together the way that I have it. So I've worked with, as you all know, I've worked with many mentors, but I enjoy structure. I do like structure, but I don't want it so it's so rigid either. I like structure because I want to know, what is the end goal? What am I working towards? And what is the vision for getting there? As a CEO, that's just how my brain works all the time. It's not just like the little things every day. I want to know what the big picture is. So I do have the syllabus. But what's fun about the syllabus, and as she knows, Katie, is that I don't want to spend too much time just because it's on paper that's the way we're supposed to go. I'm going to listen to everybody that's in our group, in our community, and hear what they need to really talk more about. Again, it's not what I think you want to hear, it's what I know you want to hear. So I really try to customize where we're at. And even just recently, I was like, you know what, ladies, this is what's on the syllabus, but I'm going to add a whole new lesson. So this week, they're going to be surprised because I just squeezed it in because I felt it's what this group really needed to hear. So that's what I mean when it comes to having structure, having support by somebody who's been there, done there, did it. And at the same time, making sure we're customizing it so it's not cookie cutter for every single person that takes it. And you are going to be working with your own goals. And I remember, even though we work in a group, there's a lot of beauty to that because we are super tight, but at the same time, people are asking questions that you may not even think of. Or at the same time, you can hear from their experiences. What's nice about Katie is she's experiencing a lot of like clairvoyancy, and a lot of the other women have not had that yet. So they're interested in knowing about her aspects and what she's going through, and you can hear what to expect or to, just be open to in your awareness. So I think she's been a great leader in our group to really kind of just talk about and be open and be vulnerable about her experience. Now, again, mastering your meditation is, if I could teach one thing only, that's it, right? That's why this whole workshop is here. But the Spiritual Success Program is so much more than mastering your meditation. We cover so many different subjects. So far, what has been something that you've really taken away that has been a huge aha moment, or you've really been enjoying learning in the program, which you've only been enrolled in for about 2 months now?
Definitely the law of polarity. That was the most interesting to me, because I think for so long I kept thinking that things needed to be like this. So anytime I would experience something that could be perceived as negative, I started to question myself, and it almost felt like I was like a little bird, like flying. Oh wait, like am I not flying? Am I crashing? Like what's going on? And so understanding that no, it's more about like almost like surfing, like riding a wave, and that that whole idea of like that you're going to have low points, but like the way you perceive those opens up the door to possibility, versus looking at it as like, okay, well, what did I do wrong to like attract this like negative situation? So right. I think that has definitely changed a lot of perspective for me. And I think as a result, I'm just wearing a different set of lenses or filters, whatever you want to call it, that are allowing me to see possibilities that in the past, if I was in the same situation, I wouldn't have been seeing them.
Yeah. So somebody asked yesterday, if I come in here, is, my money problem is going to be solved forever? And the answer is no. In fact, I don't want them to be solved for you forever, because then that's boring. Life is meant to be an adventure. And same thing with happiness and sadness. If you come to this program, are you going to be happy forever? I would never wish that on you, because here's the thing. You can't understand what true happiness feels like if you don't experience some sadness, right? This is what she's talking about, the law of polarity. But where does happiness become happiness, and where does sadness become sadness? Everybody can have their own scale of it. It's how you choose to label it. And only you are the one who's going to label it. You are the one in control. So you are going to experience happiness. But why is sadness a bad thing? There's a lot of beauty in sadness. And remember, when it comes to money, you can always make more money. You can't make more time. But are you going to freak out and spiral and say your whole life's like out of control? No, because you will be in control. That's what's super important is, again, you don't have to label that you're not doing things right. In fact, you're never doing them wrong because there is no such thing. You're just experiencing, you're observing, and you are living it. And to say that anything else just means you're not having the discipline of your mind. So I can see, even in 2 months, just the progress of you and just how serious you're taking it, how committed you're taking it, and you're doing the homework, you're doing the soul work, and you're participating in the group all the time. So that's an amazing aha moment. I'm glad that you shared that. So again, we've been working together for less than 2 months now. What would you say are the biggest changes and some of the wins that you have experienced in Spiritual Success Program in the last 2 months?
Well, definitely the quality of my meditation has just been so much better. And so not only the actual meditation experience itself, but then like how I'm feeling coming out of that and kind of staying in that space throughout the day. So just the quality has been a lot better. I've definitely manifested some concrete things. I've had, I think it was like 4 or 5 new clients since we started, which is pretty great, especially considering that I'm in the travel industry and
during COVID,
the industry that's been hit the hardest during this time. So that's kind of nice. And one of the things that's kind of small, but I really loved it was I have been wanting to, for about 2 years now, get into a point where I had a really great skin like regiment situation where I was going in to see somebody regularly who knew what to do, just proactively for my health. And I, for a long time, I didn't really think I had the money to do that kind of stuff because a lot of those treatments and the things you bring home to do at home are really expensive. And then I had the money, but I didn't have the time to like actually go in. And it was actually really cool. It all kind of came into place. A friend of mine who owns a med spa actually called me and said, "Hey girl, we've actually started a new membership program where you only have to pay like $500 a year, but that means you get like a treatment every single month. And if you are traveling, it can just like transfer over. You don't lose it. And on top of that, anything that you purchase in the med spa is 20% off. So all of a sudden, what normally would be like a really big expense for me, all of a sudden was like, oh, wait. And if I don't have the time for it this month, I can use that treatment another month. So that was really cool that I had been so specific on what I wanted. And literally like the next day, I got a text message. And so that was pretty cool. And then just also in general, how I feel like my body feels. I've been an athlete like my whole life, but about a year ago, I had a pretty serious accident where I tore several muscles in my legs. And because of the pain meds I was on and the inability to work out for several months, I was just getting to the point where I had gained some weight. I didn't feel so great about myself. And then the pandemic hit and my gym was closed. And it was just very, very frustrating because I just felt icky. And it's been interesting because I haven't really changed anything about my diet. I haven't really changed any level of activity, but I've noticed that like and I don't have a scale in my house, so I don't know if it's weight, but like I noticed that just like my clothes are getting back to fitting the way they do. I just feel thinner. I don't feel like I'm holding on to like this water weight or whatever weight I was holding on to. It's just kind of like sloughed off over the last 2 months. And I haven't changed anything in that way. And so that's been really nice, just feeling a lot healthier and having a lot more energy than I've had in the past.
Yeah. So to speak to this is awesome. So the fact that you're saying you're having these mind-blowing, like amazing meditations is the biggest compliment to me, coming from a woman who's been meditating like already very like consistent and working with other mentors to be able to do it. Again, a lot of people are going to come in at different levels and that's okay. But like the fact that you've done this for a long time, came here and was like, whoa, this was the difference maker. And I think it was fun because, again, I do talk a lot, but I like to be a visual teacher. And there was things that you were like, Cynthia, no one's ever put it that way before. And now it's like, aha, like it just makes sense. And so for me, that's a huge compliment. And then when it comes to your skin, first of all, is she not glowing? Is she not look amazing? And that may sound like a little like, wait, that's a win. Yeah, hell yeah, that's a win. Because what is she doing? She's saying yes to herself. You go first and the universe responds. And guess what? It wasn't hard. Something that she's been wanting for years and years and years. She realized the reason she said she couldn't have it was literally just a story she made up. She could. And not just that, she just said, she's like, oh yeah, and I got 5 clients. First of all, she has a luxury travel agency. Do you realize luxury is high ticket? Okay. So 5, please give yourself bigger kudos. Not just that, travel clients during COVID, a pandemic across internationally across the world when most people aren't traveling, you effortlessly are getting clients coming to you. And I remember you saying like, you know what, I just let go and they showed up and then they booked. The biggest one I've had all year just came within the 2 months that we're working together. So that's mind blowing. Like that's amazing. And then she follows it up and says, yeah, by the way, I have been getting a lot more fit and thinner and feeling better in my energy. And I really haven't been doing anything. So people always think it's bullshit. They're like, Cynthia, you lost 75 pounds because you meditated. Yes. Like, yes. If you do it right, what happens is you raise your vibration. It literally, a lot of you said you got hot, you got tired, you felt the tingles. That's literally, if you're sweating, you're burning calories and you're doing it by sitting. And so the thing is not just that, but you start making more healthy conscious decisions. I think it was the last session that we were together. I just asked everybody out of curiosity. We had all of our clients there. Perfect attendance, of course, because I do take roll call. I want to make sure you're showing up and being accountable. But we asked everybody, like, are you having, making healthier decisions? Are you seeing results in your health and wellness? And 100% of our clients said yes. Meditation is the answer to everything you want. Okay. So I think that's awesome. But let's not forget too, you have been experiencing a lot of synchronicities, which I think is really cool. Every day you're like, this happened and then this happened and this happened, which means again, consciously speaking, like nothing's happening to you. Everything's happening for you, by you. And your awareness is truly expanding. We're not walking around like this anymore, but you're playing, you're co-creating with the universe. And every day, like literally Katie's in there like, guess what happened today? Guess what happened today? This was what happened today. Your clairvoyancy, which we haven't even got into yet. You're not going to see that to the second half. You're saying, I'm seeing images all the time. I'm getting hits of intuition, which I think is fantastic. A lot of the women are experiencing clairaudience, which is like inner hearing. A lot of them are getting clairsentience, which is the feelings. But for you, it's been clairvoyance, which is really cool. And I love hearing that because that's one of my strongest gifts too. So I'm excited to really teach you more about that. But also, I wasn't planning on touch base on this, but it's kind of coming. And it's okay if you don't want to dive into it. But I think a lot of people, because I think it will help them, a lot of like crying a lot and they couldn't make sense of it. And we don't have to explain like what your emotions about, but this for you so far has been a very emotional journey in the last 2 months. What does that feel like to like just detox that out? Is your meditation helping to do that? And why do you think that's happening?
Well, I think it's a number of reasons. I think one, because we are learning to practice some of the drills that were addressed in the meditation. That's again, like we kind of talk about, it's like, okay, you can go play basketball, but like, that doesn't mean you don't like hit the gym. That I think learning to get better at those drills then is making the quality of my meditations better. Yeah. And therefore, again, it's just back to kind of the analogy we're talking about. It's just a more efficient experience. So therefore, I'm getting more out of it than I was before. Yeah. I think the detox thing, we've talked about that. I think it's, it can be kind of emotional in the sense that you don't really always understand right away why you're feeling all of that. And it can feel a little messy. I mean, to be quite honest, kind of like a detox. Like if you were to do a gut detox, it's not cute when it's happening, but you feel a lot better when it's done. And so I definitely think for me, I think a lot of it was linked to one of the first sessions we had, which was around forgiveness. And letting go of forgiveness and forgiving people, particularly when you may not, either that person isn't remorseful or you don't have the ability to actually tell that person for whatever reason they're not in your life or they're not alive anymore or whatever. And I did that and that seemed really easy. to do at the time. But then it was kind of like a couple weeks later that I think I started to see how that was actually playing out in my life. And again, there would be times I was just like meditating or doing one of the drills, and I just would have this release. And I'm not naturally somebody who cries a lot. So at first I was like, what the hell is happening? This is crazy. But it does, I think all of those releases then create space for you to then allow what you really want to fill that space. So the last week was pretty intense, but even really probably about 2 or 3 days after that, I started seeing like, it was just like things started clicking in a way that even like the last 2 months, just more quickly. So I'm starting to see that momentum, and that's really encouraging to be like, okay, I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah. So that's a perfect point. That's how I say it too. So basically everything I'm going to teach you is very simple. It is not necessarily easy. It is simple, but it is not easy. So if I pass a basketball to any one of you, and this is what made me remind you said basketball, like every single person here can dribble. Okay. We may not be able to pass it to our legs and stuff, but we can all dribble and we can all shoot. But not all of us are LeBron. Not all of us are Michael Jordan. Okay. You stick with it, you work with it, you will get there. Now, some of you may play JV, some may play varsity, some may make it to the MB freaking A, and some of you may sit on the bench. But if you're going to get to that level, it's how much you put into it. Everybody can do it, but how much do you want to be successful at it? Consistency, repetition, being open, being vulnerable, being coachable, right? And making sure that when it does get hard, that you don't stay stuck, that you trust in me to make sure that I can help bring you up. Because like she said, the reason she is having such an emotional ride is because there's things that we've been conditioned that almost like builds a wall. You literally have an energetic wall. You hear people say that like she feels guarded. There is an energetic wall. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And what happens is when you meditate, the vibration keeps going like this, that eventually it's like shaking it, and it starts falling loose like particles. And it just needs to come out. And at first you're like, this sucks. This feels like death. I hate it. I'm like, ah. But then because you get it out, it makes you open to create space to receive higher amazing calling. So perfect. I love hearing that. And again, look at her. She's going live with me, telling all of you about it. So I think it's so vulnerable and so awesome. Awesome. So did you expect all of this to happen so quickly? It's only been 2 months. We're only a third through the program.
I mean, honestly, because I had a lot of trust in work. I don't know, my instincts. I just had a lot of trust working with you. I kind of did think it was because I was ready for that. Yeah. So, I mean, it's still exciting. Mm-hmm. But because I think you always can sometimes have that doubt somewhere that like, okay, is this really going to happen for me though? You know, because at the end of the day, I still have to be the one that shows up every day and does this. Yeah. Like you can put everything into it, but if I don't do my side of it, it's not going to work, you know? Exactly. So, of course, you know, it's easy to sometimes have doubts wondering like, am I going to be able to do what everyone else is able to do for whatever reason? But I think because I have been meditating for many years now, I knew it was possible. I just wanted to get better at it and like speed that process up. So I don't know if I was necessarily surprised by it. I'm just very pleased by it.
That's good. Yeah, you have to own it. You have to claim it. I cannot want it more than you do. I will do everything in my power to get you there. I will be as vulnerable as possible. I will lead the way, but I need you to show up. Katie has shown up. Katie shown up. In fact, all of my clients have shown up. And I say, I can't be in that, that room with you. This lady travels all over the world, so I certainly can't do that. But I will make sure that I am hearing from you. If I don't hear from you, I will call you out. Every single day, we're checking in on our clients. Are you doing your meditation? What was your takeaways from the meditation today? And I can see who's participating. And if you're not on there, I literally will tag you and be like, where are you at? Why are you not posting? If you didn't do it, be honest and tell us. Like, regardless, I need to hear from you. And like we said, I mean, it's not to be like, drop down, give me 20, but yeah, I want roll call. I want to know if you can't make my class that day, why, and let me know when you see the replay. I need you to come and do the work. And that's why I told you, I'm kind of picky. I'm a little picky about who comes and joins. It's not just like anybody and everybody. So again, if you have questions like, is this a good fit for me? Let me know, because I'll be happy to connect with you. And I'll be honest with you, because once you come in here, I need you to be successful. Your success is my reputation, and I'm going to be letting you into my world and having you connect with my heart emotionally, that I'm going to do everything possible to help get you there. But again, you have to want it more than I do. And Katie's like a perfect example. She does the homework, and every time we ask the feedback, like she's like, I love the fact that this is something that I can apply all the time. So I guess that kind of segues into the question is, so what is it like having me as your mentor? What is it like working with me?
I really like working with you. It's been fantastic. But I would also say, I mean, from the first time we had a conversation, I was like, this woman's really cool. I want to get to know her better. I want to learn how to get better at the things I'm doing. She's at that level. Like, I don't know, just everything felt right. So I love working with you.
I do. I love having you too. So the thing about me is I don't mind letting people into my world. I don't mind giving them examples of what I've been going through. I also know what it's like to be where all of my clients are. Like I've been there on so many different levels, and I've worked with so many people who have stories that I can relate to. So I do connect emotionally with every single person, and every single person comes into this program with unique goals, and those goals are not going to be like cookie cutter for everybody. I want to work with each person to make sure that we're hitting it. So you had unique goals compared to Tina, who we're going to hear from, who had unique goals, and from Karina, who had unique goals. So it's personalized. That's the thing. Structure, support, but customization. And that's like really important. What also is bubbly as I am and goofy as I am during these workshops. That's not even like a little taste of like what we are like doing when we're coaching live. And also I do have a little bit of a potty mouth. It comes out more when I'm coaching because I'm just like super, super, super flow, you know? So we have fun. It's like a real deal. Like, let's hang out. Let's like get things done. And that's what's really about. So thank you for that. I love having you in the group as well. Okay. So how has it been? Because a lot of people, they think that, you know, oh, I only want to have a coach when I'm working with them one-to-one. Now, here's the thing. I can work with clients one-to-one. If you're interested in taking spiritual success as a one-to-one mentorship program, I can certainly do that. But again, as a businesswoman, an hour is an hour, whether you're with one person or 100 people. I'd rather help 100 people, right? And then also, I'd rather be paid by 100 people, because when you give, you're allowed to receive. So obviously, it's me more for the mentorship one-on-one. But what a lot of people don't realize is there's so much that you can learn from being in a group atmosphere. So what is it like being in a group atmosphere? And then also talk a little bit about what it's like having the daily accountability.
Yeah, so I really like it because, well, first of all, our group is really small, which is nice. Like, it's intimate. So I don't feel like I'm in a class of like 100 people. I feel like I'm still getting the same amount of attention with you that I would get if it was just a one-on-one. But what I do like about it is that I feel like not just during this class, but like moving forward, so much of continuing this journey is having a community of people that you can surround yourself with that are like-minded. And for me, part of this journey has been realizing that I don't have a lot of friends that are that I can like talk openly about this, or they might be like, oh yeah, meditation's cool, but they're not doing it regularly. And that's fine. But if I'm going to do something major to like change in my life, then I need to be surrounded by other people that I can share those experiences with. And so not only am I learning from the other women in the group, which is actually kind of nice too, because I'm looking to you as a mentor, but I'm also looking to like my peers as we're in this together. Like, and so we're all, you know, so that's really nice because I feel like I'm learning like coming from two different directions, but also just knowing that moving forward, this is kind of like the first step, and getting to meet other successful businesswomen, which again, that's great for my, you know, like also for my business, but also like from like a spiritual side, like-minded people that I think are going to be very helpful moving forward in helping me continue this journey.
Yeah. So you see the syllabus, you know what it's like working with me thus far. What are you really excited to learn about that we haven't covered yet?
Well, definitely after last week when you started talking about the manifestation part, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So what happens is a lot of people are shocked, but there is definitely, you know, thought that goes behind the structure of the program. Really, it's all starting with foundational mindset. I need you to be strong mentally. Again, you are a spirit having a human experience, but nevertheless, you are human. You are surrounded by other people who are not spiritually working on themselves. As you said, you need to be able to relate to other people. You are the 5 people you surround yourself by. That's why the group community is so important too. And one of the things that I have mentioned, and I will always give people the insight that I wish I had that I didn't get, is that sometimes when you really raise your vibration, other people around you are not. Remember what happens if you change the inside, the outside will change. Sometimes relationships that you have that no longer serve you will start dropping off, and it's going to feel like, well, what's happening? This is sad. Like, why am I like people that I love? That's okay. That's normal, because what you're doing is just like the closet. You're going to start creating space for new relationships that are more empowering, that are more uplifting, that are more motivating and inspiring. And that's just a natural part of it. But I like to be able to give you those insights, so you're not just like dumbfounded when these things happen. But again, it's making sure that you're creating space. So it's really about understanding the mindset, understanding freedom, forgiveness, failure. I call that 3 F's. Understanding labeling, understanding the control you have of your own mind and nobody else. Remember, everybody's doing the best that they can at the conscious level that they are at. And you are constantly getting stronger in your consciousness and your awareness. So you can't hold other people to the same standards necessarily, because your standard has raised so high. So that's where we start. And then we'll really discipline the meditation. In fact, I'm going to have you meditate on your own in the beginning, because I want you to compare what your meditation is like when you really start working with me and we go deep dive into it. And then, as she's at right now, we're excited. Now that you have mastered your meditation, you have mastered your mindset, you can start mastering manifestation. So this is where all the shit's going to start popping out of the sky. You're going to be like, what? And that's what I'm really excited to teach, obviously. So that's really fun. Awesome. Awesome. So I guess, you know, a big question is, would you recommend this to the ladies who are watching now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely recommend it. And I think that if you're not sure, sit with it for sure. But just because something seems scary doesn't necessarily mean that it's not the right option. So I think it also, saying yes is great, but being ready to actually do the work for the next 6 months, because it's amazing. I actually look forward to doing it. But yeah, I mean, you can pay the money and like not do anything. So definitely making sure that you have like an open heart and an open mind, and you're really like signing up to do it, and not just thinking that if you sign up, like all your problems are going to be solved. There is a lot of work in it, but I actually enjoy it, and it's been great. I look forward to it. But I do recommend it for anyone who really is serious about wanting to, in whatever way or series of ways, make some sort of improvement in their life.
Yeah, success in all areas. And again, for you, it's been your business. It's been relationships. It's been understanding your inner superpowers. It's been improving in your meditation and your mindset. And that's only been 2 months. Like, that's a huge deal. That's amazing. So before I ask Katie her last question, I want to make sure if anybody who is watching right now has any questions for Katie, to put it in the comments so that she can either go back and type them in or perhaps answer them live here. Okay, so I can see them. I didn't mean to be rude. I was looking down my phone so I can pull it up and see the comments here. So if you have any questions for her to answer live, please put it in. Sarah, one of our sisters, is watching. Hi, Sarah. She's going to be going live later. Okay, so what I want to remind you, and what she said here, which is really important, I understand that, remember, we met here on day 1, and we frolicked and we skipped and we laughed and we cried together and we got to know each other. And here's the fence, right? This is what everybody is at the workshop. They are here and they're at the fence, where joining the program is on the other side. I understand making this leap over the fence is scary right now, because you haven't trained your mind to label it otherwise. You're feeling nervous. You're feeling the butterflies. You're like, oh my God, can I do this? But remember, is it nervous? Is it nerve-wracking, or is it exciting? It's up to you to decide. Some people have been DMing me, sending me voice messages, and I love that. If you DM me, if you voice message me, I will answer you right back. But their question is like, how do I know if this is for me? Like, I don't know. I'm so nervous. And like, I'm just like, woosah, woosah. Okay, like, go sit with it. Please know, I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here like anybody like, give me your money, get in the program. That is not what I'm about whatsoever, okay? It's, I want you to come in regardless if you are nervous or not. Regardless, I want you to come in feeling excited. I want you to come in feeling good. I want you to come in feeling like, that was the biggest jump I've ever taken, but I am leaping in faith because I am open, I am vulnerable, and I am ready to have a flip and change. I'm ready for a new life. And as long as you're open and vulnerable, that means you can be coachable. So I just want you to understand that, of course, it's scary. You'd be an alien if it didn't feel scary, but that's now. Wait till how the new you starts saying yes to everything. But that leap of faith is the first testimonial of you showing up, and then the universe will respond. So Katie said a perfect example how it was for her. Again, she's an attorney, y'all. She's a luxury travel agency. I work with multiple 7-figure and 8-figure women also. They always say, eek, when they make an investment. I still say, eek, when I make an investment, right? But it's because it's the feeling of growth. We're human regardless. Get control though. Get control of those emotions. Get control of those thoughts so they start working for you. And again, an investment is something that you get a return on, not just something you're spending. So perfect example. So let's see if there's any questions that were coming in. And my last question for you though is there any additional insights that you wanted to share with anybody and everybody who is watching?
I think we pretty much covered most of them already.
Yeah. Too. So just wanted to make sure in case. Let's see. I'm going to browse through real quick. A lot of people are saying you still have to be the one who shows up every day. To this is so powerful, and that resonates with them. They are asking and saying, first of all, they're saying you're beautiful and you're glowing and your skin matches your amazing smile.
That's awesome.
All right. So I think that is all the questions. So here's the thing. If you have additional questions, make sure you put it out here. Katie, feel free to go and post. Do you want to tell everybody how they can follow you on Instagram and also on Facebook or anywhere else?
Yeah, for sure. So my Instagram is just Lucid Roots, LucidRouts. So that's my Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook under Lucid Roots Luxury Travel and Lifestyle Collective. But I'm also in the Facebook group. So if you just find Katie Warner and there's a picture of me, if you're not sure, I mean, it's a black and white photo, looks like me. So I don't think there's anyone else in the group that, but if you have any questions, I'm sure you can also get Megan to like connect us through like Facebook chat or something like that if you have a hard time finding me in the group.
That's so nice. Yeah. So I'm glad you were here today. I know that you're going to inspire a lot of people to say yes, and big congratulations to all of those who have already said yes to success. Remember, we are in the last 72 hours. So if you're excited to hear the other stories of the women who've come in. Now, Katie is the CEO of her company. She's an attorney, but you're going to hear from women, several other women who are entrepreneurs and CEOs. Several are coaches. Several, though, are not. You're going to hear from high school guidance counselors. You're going to hear from eye doctors. You're going to hear from all these different levels. And so I'm excited for you to be able to be a part of this today. So thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for getting up here to help shake them with love. You can do this, y'all. And any other questions you can put here in the comments, everybody. We'll be jumping in. So in the meantime, say it with me, Katie. Acknowledge it.
Embrace it. See you through.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you later. Thank you so much, Katie. Have a great day.